The Detroit Lions are outsmarting the rest of the NFL, and it's so encouraging to see, especially after the Matt Patricia Quinn era that was just so bad. And the Lions in the past were always reaching, grabbing for things that just it was so frustrating. Now look at what you have. We'll get into the latest things, catch you up to speed, and then we'll break down why the Lions are a step ahead of everyone else and why they went from actually the worst team in football just a couple years ago to playing in the NFC Championship game to now building on that. Here's what Alex Anzalone just said an hour ago. He said Aleem McNeil, Reeder, Hutch, Marcus up front is who you want walking off the bus first. Look at that, dude. It's just so cool. So the Lions, just for the DJ Reader signing, the Lions signed DJ Reader, and this is a defense that was really good against the run. So in any statistical category, yards per carry, run, yards per game on the ground, all that stuff, they were in the top 10 in every rushing category. So we forget that. And that's why the Detroit Lions were so successful last year and why they won a lot of games last year is because the defense sucks. Well, no, they stopped the run. You stop the run, you give yourself a chance. Now, against the pass, there was big struggles, and optically it looked worse than it was actually when it comes to stopping the run. So now you add DJ Reader alongside Aleem McNeil, and that interior now is just bolstered because you replace Benito Jones with DJ Reader. I mean, I'll show you how the Lions did this all throughout free agency. They let guys walk that were not good and added better players. And that is free agency. And you do that, though, in an economical way. And man, it's awesome. So let's take a look at it, get you up to speed here. First, DJ Reader, of course, signs a 2-year deal, a great 2-year deal that we don't know the details fully, but it says it's worth a maximum of $27 million. So hopefully he gets that. It means that's incentives, time played, reaching the playoffs, NFC Championship game, Super Bowls, stuff like that. And then it's got something over at least $9 million guaranteed. And why the guaranteed money is so low is because he's torn both of his quads. And so that's why he visited, was to try to get understanding of how he's feeling and what's going on there. So he's in, love it. 6'3", 335 pounds. If you look at what the Cincinnati media and fans are saying, I mean, they're just devastated. So awesome. Okay, let's take a look at it. Here's what the Lions did. I want to highlight up until this point some of the things that they did and how it's so smart, because as we get into this, the Lions have built through the draft. You have to hit on draft picks, and then you have to add players in free agency without overspending. So anyone can go grab 6 really good free agents and way overpay for them. How can you get good free agents and not risk putting yourself in bad contracts? And you see that with Trey Flowers a few years ago, where it's just like, okay, Trey Flowers, cool, he's pretty good, but we give him a 5-year ridiculous contract. Jesse James, tight end, yeah, he's pretty good, sweet. Wait, but we gave him a 4-year brutal contract. The Lions, Brad Holmes does not get into bad contracts. So let's take a look at what we're talking about. Graham Glasgow, really good contract. The guy that didn't even want to go test free agency. He was the first signing just like that. Love it. Now, here's the one, Christian Wilkinson. Christian Wilkinson was, everyone wanted this D tackle. And sorry, this keeps jumping around. He wanted this D tackle. He signs for 4 years, $110 million. So what happens after year? And guess with who? The Raiders, right? It just makes sense. The Raiders, they're desperate. They want stuff. And what happens when he gets injured halfway through this season? He's not the same. Next year, he's injured, and they're locked in, right? So same with Jonah Jackson, 3-year, $51 million deal. Man, shout out to you. See ya. They're not going to do that. Okay. Marcus Davenport, a 1-year deal. Perfect. We'll get back to that in a minute, but here are the two I want to highlight: Carlton Davis and Amik Robertson. So Carlton Davis is a starter for the Bucks. He comes to the Lions, replaces Jerry Jacobs. Major upgrade. Amik Robinson, a 2-year deal that at average yearly value is less than what the Texans gave to Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okuda, like, is not good. And we get this Amik Robertson guy that is a starting corner for the Raiders that's played a ton of football the last 2 years. First 2 years in the league, special teams guy, backup. Last two, doesn't come off the field. So we get a starting Bucks corner and a starting Raiders corner, and we get rid of Vildor and Jerry Jacobs. We improved, right? We got better. I love it. CJ Gardner Johnson, bye. I mean, and I'm not trying to be a slappy here, but what I'm trying to do is just tell me what you disagree with, that you're like, nope, that was bad. And it's crazy. Like, they just are doing things that are hard to do but make perfect sense. CJ Gardner Johnson doesn't fit what the Lions have been talking about. We want grit. We want guys that love the game, good teammates, all that stuff. Just like, dude, you don't fit. Sorry, man. You talk a lot and you're way too cocky. And in some ways, and I don't want to think about this too hard because it makes me mad, you cost us the NFC Championship game. Just head down, play the game. Instead, he's wanting to do his thing with Debo. It's like, come on, dude. Killer. Chase Lucas. All right, let him go, but also have interest in him. Fine, backup corner. Okay, Anthony Pittman. Now, this one's interesting, but we lose Pittman to the Commanders. Now, you might think no big deal, but Anthony Pittman, over 5 seasons with the Lions, he's made 52 game appearances. So not a lot of action just on the defensive side of the ball, but no player had played more special team snaps for the Lions over the last 2 seasons. So we've seen this with the Lions. There was the guy that went to the Patriots. I can't think of his name. Really good special teams guy that he came from the Ravens. We lost him. Then we lost Jalen Reeves-Maven, but he came back. Then there's Pittman. So there's these kind of rotational linebacker guys that the Lions, to their credit, can find and fill really well. So this is the only one that's like, I don't love that, but at the same time, gotta realize he's a backup linebacker, and that's fine. Okay, Eric Armstead, somebody we really wants, signs with the Jaguars. Fine, see ya. And then DJ Reader is the headliner that we get. And so when everyone was screaming, what's going on? What are we getting? We were this close to the Super Bowl. Why didn't we remember what the Lions are now? The Lions are a good team that are adding strategically. In every year past, we were trying to make a good team. We have a good team already. Now can you add pieces versus man, it was like you're trying to acquire talent. You acquire talent through the draft. Penei Sewell, St. Brown, tight end, running back. I mean, it's just like that's how you build the core, young core, 22, 23-year-old, 24, 25. And then you can bring in a DJ Reader, patient, didn't sign him right away, comes visit. I love the approach that the Lions are taking. Smart, strategic, don't overpay, don't overextend yourself. And it's so you can just tell by watching the moves and watching the way the Lions operate how well run, organized they are. And it's crazy because you think, well, you look at the Commanders have signed a bunch of older guys to big deals. I mean, that's not going to work. The Bears give Swift huge contract. Swift, we watched him for 3 years. Just he goes to the Eagles, the best offensive line, one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Has a good year, stays healthy, but I mean, he's not. That's not who he is. He's not good, and they give him a huge contract. Thank you. Titans, they're giving out huge contracts. Kelvin Ridley, they had AJ Brown right there in their team, and they're like, nah, I don't think we want to do that. But you, Ridley, come on, almost $100 million, because these teams are trying to build through free agency, and you don't do it like that. You build through the draft. Can you find a Malcolm Rodriguez? Can you find a St. Brown? I mean, that's a Sam Laporta. So last year we did not have an all-pro Pro Bowl tight end on our team. Then we drafted him. Now we do, right? You can't go find him in free agency. There is no Sam Laporta in free agency. There is no Amon-Ra St. Brown in free agency. Penei Sewell, Jahmyr Gibbs, they are nowhere to be found in free agency. You draft them, you develop them. It takes the first half of the season, especially their rookie year. Then they explode, and now you've got them for year 2, 3, and 4. So the Lions have it. They're doing it. The Reader signing was the cherry on top. That was like, okay, that's what we needed to see. We needed one impact player. We got him, defensive tackle. I feel really happy for the coaching staff and for just the opportunity to have some new players, exciting players on the defensive side, right? On the defensive side, Aaron Glenn, I should say. Aaron Glenn, I'm really excited for because I think he's done really well with the players that he's had. He's had safeties have been shaky, corners have been shaky. I mean, look at the defensive tackle position for the Lions. It was a developing Aleem McNeil who's played really well. But outside of that's Benito Jones. It was not Snacks Harrison, but the other guy that left and like talked crap after he left. It's like, come on. We have some players now. And it's really exciting to see what the Lions will be able to do now that the defense could be really improved. That is really exciting. Keep us in games, steal a couple games on the defensive side of the ball, shut play teams down, especially the Bears and the Vikings, right? You look at the Vikings. Oh, that's bad. The Vikings, Kirk Cousins, they don't have a quarterback. Perfect. Like, let's go steal a game and just lock them down defensively. Bears, they either have Justin Fields, who, I mean, come on, he's flashy and he's going to make a couple plays every game. That's just like, wow, this guy's incredible. But can he make a throw on 3rd and 8? No. In the 4th quarter? No. Perfect. So they're going to have Justin Fields or a rookie quarterback. Awesome. Play those two teams that combined 4 times. Okay. That's 4. I mean, win 3 or 4 of those games. There's 4 victories right there. Packers, I'm still not. I mean, Jordan Love, I think he's just solid, but I mean, is he a franchise changing, unbelievable quarterback? Yet to find out. And so this just keeps the Lions in every game now that we have corners. This is outstanding. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.